What's up, guys? Feed you information here. So I have my 14 stock portfolio. We will have side notes, and we're going to go over their profitability as well as their management effectiveness. And we'll have categories for each of them. So let's get into this. So we have Take-Two Interactive here, and I put a cloudy picture because it's basically been dropping. It's still 15% down. So I'm only going to be buying once every month now, and it's my top position, so that's the reason for this. As well as an equity standpoint, I have $500 in it, which is 4.75 shares, an average price of 105.15, and I will of course be buying on those 15% dips, but only once every month. Now let's take a look at their profitability. So we have profit margin. If you don't know how to get this formula, then it's basically gross profit over revenue. And if you don't know how to get gross profit, it's basically revenue minus COGS. That stands for cost of goods sold. So the profit margin is 14.26%. Not bad. So that's basically saying 14 cents they get on every sale. Operating margin, we have 9.03%. If you don't know what operating margin is operating profit over net sales. The operating profit is revenue minus cost of goods sold, but also operating expenses and also minus depreciation. So we have return on assets at 3.61%, net income over beginning and ending assets and then divided by 2. That's how you would get the return on assets. And then on return on equity, we have 21.46%. Net income over shareholder equity is the way to get that. And then the current ratio is 1.42. Now, return on assets, you want it to be considered a good company. It's over 5%. So this is below 5%. So that is a bit concerning, but not a huge deal. You know, at the end of the day, numbers are only numbers. And if you're going long haul, then you don't care what's happening right now in the moment. You want to keep focusing on the future. So 2020 and so on and so forth, when this company actually puts out Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Online's bringing in more revenue, I think this company will have a lot higher return on assets as well as operating margin, profit margin, so on and so forth. But anyways, return on equity, 21.46%. You want it to be between a 15 and 20% to be considered good. So this is doing pretty well. And then current ratio, if it's between a 1.2 and 2, that's the best you can get. So it's heading towards that too. It's doing quite well. And that is your current assets over your current liabilities. So basically that means it can pay off its current liabilities and then some. Moving on to our second, we have Alibaba, the slow-moving titan is what I like to call this one. It's my second largest holding at $335, and it's 2.14 shares. The average price is $156.03. And I'll be buying this company on 10% dips. I forgot to add that in, sorry. Profit margin, we have 20.17%. So as you see, it's higher than where Take-Two Interactive's profit margin is. So they're getting about 20 cents per sale. Gross profit, operating margin, they have 0%. A bit of a question mark in my head there. I'll have to further look into why that's a 0%. Maybe it's just factored out to a 0%. I really don't know. But return on assets is 4.69%. So pretty small. It's below that 5%. Not a huge deal. As I said, the slow-moving titan, these numbers are going to get better over time, in my opinion. So return on equity, we have 12.85%. Again, we want that to be between a 15 and 20%. So it's below where I want it to be, but not a huge deal. I'm total long-term, and I think that this company will be very good in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe even 1 year. Eventually, the numbers will show better than what they are because the revenue is already definitely there and it's growing. NVIDIA, we have kill this segment because it has really good numbers across the board. It's my third largest holding, $300, 2.12 shares. The average price is $141.27, and I'm buying on 10% dips. So my profit margin here is 35.35%. Very good. That's 35 cents and 0.35 of a cent on every sale. Operating margin, we have, or it's profit, so that's what they're taking home, not just getting in sales, because sales is technically revenue. Sorry. But operating margin, we have 32.77%. Then on our return on assets, we have 19.56%. And once again, you want that to be at least a 5%. So that's doing really well. Return on equity, you want between a 15 and 20%. It's 49.26%. And then the current ratio, 7.94, guys. Again, you want it to at least be a 1.2 to a 2 to be considered great. So 7.94, they're doing very well. Apple, we have the iPhone service revenue is growing, and the fourth largest holding on my position, $250 stake in 1.61 shares. The average price is $154.48, and I'm buying on 10% dips. Profit margin is 22.72%, operating margin 25.98%. Return on assets, we have 10.89%, and a return on equity of 46.05%. So it's making its shareholders very happy. Current ratio 1.3. So, it's in that 1.2 to 2. It's doing well. Disney, the entertainment king, my fifth largest holding, $201.25, 1.79 shares. Average price is $112.32, and I'm buying on 10% dips after February, because right now this is my stock of the month, so right now it's 5% dips. I haven't gotten any 5% dips though, so I've just added to it at the beginning, and then I added to it once again. That way I won't have to add to it on the last day of the month. Profit margin 18.46%, not bad. Operating margin 24.35%. Return on assets 9.15, so it beats that 5%. And then return on equity, it beats that 15 to 20% at 21.94. But the current ratio is 1. So that is probably because of Fox and all the other acquisitions just building up their, I guess that's long-term debt. So in general, their expenses are just creating a lot of current liabilities. But, 1 means that they can clear off everything. So they're about even on their current. So not the best, but hey, it could be worse. Long-term outlook, guys. EA, Apex though, question mark. It's my sixth largest holding, as well as Star Wars. I would like to see them extend their contract after 2020 because they really haven't shown much since 2016, but their next Star Wars game comes out in 2020, so hopefully that does end up doing well, so then I can have faith in them extending their contract, because if Disney gives that Star Wars contract to somebody else, I probably won't care to hold EA, and I'll just take whatever profit I've gotten. Anyways, it's my sixth largest holding, $176.71, and that's 1.94 shares. My average price is $90.63, and I'm buying on 15% dips. So we have a profit margin of 26.77, pretty good. Operating margin of 29.39%. Return on assets of 11.11, so good. And return on equity of 30.05%. Now, their current ratio is 2.99, which is good. That's higher than the 1.2 to 2 point mark. That's considered really good for our company. So a 3 is good. It's not NVIDIA, but it's good. Facebook, we have social media king at my seventh largest holding, and that's $130, 0.87 shares. My average price is $149.39. I'm buying on 10% dips. And the profit margin here is 39.6%. So like NVIDIA, this one's really good, perhaps even better than NVIDIA. Operating margin, 44.62%. Return on assets of 17.12%. Return on equity of 27.91%. And a current ratio of 7.19. Just awesome. General Mills. All right, so I decided to continue this because I ran out of keyword room. It was like exceeded, so I had to back out of this and then go here to start this. So we have my 8th position here, General Mills, my favorite food stock. It's my 8th largest position at $50.33. I have 1.3 shares. The average price is $38.21, and I'm buying on 10% dips. The profit margin is 12.48%. Operating margin 17.33%. I have a return on assets of 6.71%. Return on equity of 31.88%, and a current ratio of 0.58. Now that is because of the Blue Buffalo acquisition, so I think long term they will pay this off and do well, but a really bad current ratio right now. They can't pay off their liabilities. Their assets just aren't as much as their liabilities right now, so that's not good. Amazon, we have king of e-commerce, ninth largest position at $50. So we're pretty much in my small positions now. 0.03 shares, 3% of a share. Average price is $1,462.84, and I'm buying on 10% dips. So we already know that their PE is overvalued, so obviously their profit margin right now and operating margin is going to be kind of low. 4.32% and 5.33%. Return on assets, we have 5.28%. Return on equity, 28.27%. And the current ratio is 1.10. Adobe, we have the king of picture/video edits. It's my 10th largest position, $30 into it, and that's 13% of a share, 0.13. Average cost is $220.18. I'm buying on 10% dips. Profit margin, 28.69%. The operating margin is 31.46%, so pretty good numbers. Return on assets is 10.66%. Return on equity, 29.07%. And the current ratio is 1.13, so slightly missing that 1.2 to 2 mark. Because if it could just hit that 1.2, then it would be considered doing well. So it's doing okay. It can pay off and have a little bit. Costco, we have established quality bulk retailer. To me, it beats out Sam's Club, so it's pretty much the best one out there. 11th largest position, and I have $20, which as you see the line's like, wait, what are you trying to say? That's basically saying 0.099, so 10% of a share basically, because the average price is $200.72. I'm buying on 10% dips, and we have the profit margin at 2.25%, so very low. I actually didn't know this until I just now made this video, so that is a bit worrisome, but I'm looking at a long-term perspective, so regardless, I think their numbers will do okay, and they'll get their profit margin to increase. Operating margin is 3.09%. The return on assets is 6.73%, and return on equity is 26.62%. So it does beat the return on assets and equity, which meet the management effectiveness. So that is good. Current ratio 1.02, so just able to pay off those liabilities. That could be better, but I'm willing to, accept that that's where it's at, and that's not going to stop it any day. So Activision, what's next? They have Call of Duty, Overwatch, Destiny. What will be the next thing? My 12th largest position, I have $20 into it, 0.42 shares, so 42% of a share. Average price is $47. I knew I messed up somewhere. Add that dollar sign. It's $47.01, buying on 15% dips. My profit margin here is 24.17%. Operating margin is 26.64%. Return on assets is 6.84%, and return on equity is 17.42%. The current ratio is 2.31, so it's prepared to do something. Microsoft, sorry I said that so weird. Microsoft, the partnership king. As you can see, I have the hand shaking there to represent that. It's my March stock of the month, so next month. The 13th largest position, I have $15 in it, which is about 15% of a share. The average price is $97.68. I'm buying on 10% dips, but March will change it to 5% dip buys. Profit margin is 28.31%. Operating margin is 32.83%. Return on assets is 9.44%. Return on equity is 39.35%. And lastly, the current ratio is 3.12. So some pretty good numbers there. All the more reason to make it my stock of the month for March. Walmart, finally we're at the last stock. Sorry for all the stuttering. I'm not good at long videos. I always stutter. But still cheap as ever in the stores. 14th largest position at $10, and I have about 11% of a share. Average price is $90.77. I'm buying on 10% dips. The profit margin here is 1.3%. Freakishly low, dude. Operating margin is 4.27%. Return on assets is 6.48%. Return on equity is 8.95%. And the current ratio is 0.8. So definitely probably the most ugly one, but not that big of a deal. I'm willing to think that long-term perspective will help these numbers out. And even if they don't, it won't affect how the company and stock will do, because not every number will just like stop your company from being successful. there are definitely some of these that would be stopped, but Walmart is a very old company, and I think it will figure everything out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This was my 14 stock. Oh yeah, right. I have to save it. This was my 14 stock profit / management analysis. If you guys enjoyed this video, then throw me a like. Make sure to subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys later. Feed You Information out.